6 goals. They'll consider up to like 6 goals.
All right, we're still talking stories making the rounds. Let's move on. Let's talk about one legend that was on fire in his heydays. Talking about a man called Romario. Romario played for the Brazilian national team. He was truly a great player. Yes, that's the man on your screen there. Romario is his name. And Romario is saying there were only few players that were as good as he was during his heydays. And he says the only 2 players, and not that they were even as good as he was in the same level with them. He talked about Messi and also Cristiano Ronaldo. Looking at Romario, would you say Romario was indeed in the same level?
Romario, actually, during his time, he was a very big player, and then he did so well.
Played 70 times for Brazil.
Yes, 70 times with 55 goals and won Golden Ball award and all of that for his country in '94 when they won the World Cup.
Yes.
So Romario played a very big role in football, and which I know a lot of young ones are trying to follow in his steps. So his era this time is totally different. Yeah. You understand? With his passion then, and I don't think Romario can be able to fit in with the kind of play that's going on right now. Kylian Mbappe with his speed, Haaland with his fantastic strikes and all of that. So him saying it's just Messi and Ronaldo that are on his level, I think
But if you look at Kun Aguero, don't you see something similar between Kun Aguero and Romario in terms of their build and the way they move with the ball inside the 18-yard box?
You know, they are unstoppable when they come. Yes, they are really unstoppable. They are built, they are very strong. They are like a threat, you know, to defenders. Defenders seeing them, they just like get on their heels to just try to, you know, stop them. So I would say they are built well and they are very strong, but with Haaland and Kylian Mbappe and, you know, likes of Harry Kane and this era, I think I don't totally agree with him that it's just Messi and Ronaldo that are on the same level as he is.
All right, so lots of people have their reservations as far as Romario, but Romario did express his belief that the Brazil legend Ronaldinho and Ronaldo were also the same level as he was. Talking about Ronaldo and Ronaldinho, he believes, and he also said he was a better player than Rivaldo and Neymar. Do you agree with him?
I don't agree with him.
Why?
Because come on now.
But let's agree that Rivaldo, yes, was good. But would you say Neymar, Adriano, Bebeto, and
Cristiano
Zico?
Ronaldo, Zico, Zinedine Zidane, all these people, we can't say he's better than all these guys. Come on, he can't say
will you class him amongst those players?
I can class him. You know, I can class him among those players, but for him to just come and like, okay, I'm the better dog, I'm bigger. No, sir. You know, we have come on the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo with the skills. We have the likes of Ronaldinho back then, Adriano. We have top strikers.
But can we consider the fact that Romario won the World Cup? Probably that's why he's saying it. And these other players, yes, they are good, but they have not won the World Cup.
Well, I think, okay, with that now, if that's the angle we are looking at, if that's the angle he's coming from, okay, I'll give him his flowers, yes. I'll give him his flowers. But in terms of skill, goals, you know, agility and pace, you know, the way they play the football and all create chances for their own teammates and all, I wouldn't give him those flowers. Yes.
All right, we're hoping that Tauso Haji will be joining us soon to get his take on all these issues we're talking about. And let's get some story about Barcelona. Let's tell you that former Manchester United interim boss Ralf Rangnick has emerged as a surprise contender to succeed Xavi Hernandez at Barcelona next season. The 65-year-old is revered in his native Germany, but enjoyed a disappointing stint at Old Trafford. But a story coming out of Barcelona says he's the man they're picking to, you know, kind of take the place of Xavi in Barcelona. Is that realistic? Is that a good switch for Ralf Rangnick, who didn't succeed in Old Trafford, to replace Xavi in Barcelona? Is Xavi that bad?
Xavi has actually tried, you know, most of the time.
Yes, that's the man there, Rangnick there.
Xavi has tried, but he's seeming not to have a really, really smooth run. I guess because they have a lot of young players and he doesn't know how to, manage them properly. So, and I think they lost their game this past weekend. I think they
had a draw. It was a draw.
I think a 3-3 draw this past weekend. And I think this Rafnik coming in again for Barcelona and for Xavi, replacing him. I think he's going to do much better because of more experience that he has had in coaching. So I think they should give him a shot, and then he might take it up and then do better, and then probably get them a trophy.
Where does this leave Xavi in terms of coaching now? Do you think he's going to get a job quick, another job, and do you see him coming back as backup coach somewhere in the future?
He might, because of the loyalty and then the amount of games he has played for Barcelona as a player, and then the amount of trophies that he won for them, and with Lionel Messi and Ronaldinho back when he was still playing. So I think he might come back, but he should just maybe go back to his drawing board and then look at more angles where he's going to do better as a coach, and then work on that. And I see him getting a job soon. I don't think he's for so long.
All right, let's move on to the next talking point. We were talking, the man called Manu is the man in the news this morning, and we're talking about where is Manu going to play next. Is he going to play Kobe Manu? Is he going to play for England or Ghana, where his parents hail from? Let's just tell you that Manchester United midfielder player Kobe Manu is planning to keep his international options open until later this year, despite growing interest from Gareth Southgate, the England coach. The England manager watched Manu's 10th successive Premier League start for United in the 2-1 win at Aston Villa. But the 18-year-old is also eligible for Ghana and in no rush to make a decision. Manu will accept a call-up he is offered by England, having already represented them at the under-16 and under-18 and under-19 level, but has no immediate plans to make a definite decision on his international career. The Stockport-born midfielder player qualifies for Ghana through his parents, with Ghana FA board member Randy Abbey telling the Times last week that they are hopeful of persuading Manu to switch his allegiance to the Black Stars. Manu is expected to defer his decision until he is confident of breaking into the senior England squad on a regular basis. For you, we've seen Nigeria suffered this in the past, where England, yes, they help groom these boys. Before you know, they play for England 1-2 times and they are dumped, and they no longer get call-ups. What would be your advice to Manu? The way it's
Manu's approach to this, it's actually very mature. It's very, very mature, because I like the fact that he's leaving his options open, for another year. Because right now it's not something you would just want to rush into, because we have a whole lot of Africans who has picked up the call for England and then maybe appeared once. They won't have enough playing time, probably 10 minutes or 15 minutes to the end of the game. They just show up their face, and then maybe after 2 games they never get called up again. So Manu now taking his time to take this decision is actually smart, and I wouldn't want us to lose another African player to the England, to the English team, and then at the end of the day we don't get to see them play international football apart from playing for their clubs. So I would just advise Manu, or allow Manu to go with his with this 1 year, think about it very well. And also I want the Ghanaian FA to persuade him, take care of we need to take care of our players here in Africa. We need to really, really take care of them, give them reason to come home and play, because I know England gives a lot of juicy deals and all of that. So all of those things now takes our players away. With Nigeria, Super Eagles have suffered that a lot. Look at just Saka. We lost Saka to England.
We lost Saka.
So we lost
very painful loss.
Very painful loss. So Manu is a young.
But would you blame parents of such players? Saka had no business playing for the English national team.
I would think,
though people will tell you he was born in England and raised in England.
No, I would think
that doesn't make him white.
Yeah, that does, technically, obviously, that doesn't make him white. But I think that they just go for loyalty, because they tend to learn a lot, and everything that they've gotten from England. So I feel they're just being loyal to England, and then they end to go back and then play for them because of the lessons and then maybe the love and offers that they give them.
All right, let's we've got Coach Charles Ohaji, who is joining us via Zoom all the way from Zaria. Charles Ohaji, nice to have you join us on the program. All right, we're hoping Charles Ohaji, who is a Canadian-trained football coach, will be joining us very soon. Let's get his take as regards the awards given to the Super Eagles, and also he will be suffering some cyberbullying, and also they talk about Man City's Champions League game against Copenhagen, and Romario's talk, saying he's one of the greatest footballers ever. I'll also be looking at Manu's decision. We hope once Charles. Okay, hello, good morning, Charles. Ohaji, good morning. Ohaji, good morning. Nice to have you on Talk Sports.
Yeah, good morning, Tony. Nice to have you. Nice to be live with you.
All right, I'm not alone. I've got Samuel Odi, who is a co-anchor here on the Talk Sport. How is Zaria doing this morning?
Well, Zaria is nice. It's quite windy and a bit cold in Zaria, but of course, generally the weather is nice.
All right, let's look at your darling Super Eagles. They were awarded MON by President Bola Tinubu. Would you say the awards were deserving of the Super Eagles?
Yes, thank you, Tony. Yes, I believe, in fact, first of all, we have to congratulate on the Super Eagles and congratulate Nigerians for our support for the national team. I also have to thank this present government of Ahmed Tinubu. They've really come out to show that they are quite interested in seeing us blossom in the area of sports. It's quite very, very encouraging, and I think this will also push a lot of upgrowing players around the world to also want to come back and compete for the Nigerian Super Eagles. And I tell you, with that award, I was so impressed. The feelers, I was so happy personally. I was happy, and you can see the boys too are happy. They know that all their effort was not in vain. And of course, the reality, I'm impressed with the award given to them. I think this is the first time. This is the first time I'm seeing such happen. That immediately a team is coming back instantly. They are being given this honor. This is not the time that we need to know that when they come, the officials keep the players. They are trying to plan what to give the players, doing all sorts of ceremonies. But for the first time, this government knew what they had to do, knew what they had to do to boost these players' confidence, give them the morale. Make us know that, look, Nigerians were close, but we all should put all hands on deck and see that by the next 2 years, Nation Cup will lift the trophy.
Do you agree with some school of thought that says this is more like rewarding people who didn't, finish the task given to them? When you start rewarding people that came second with houses and MON, what are you going to give to those who actually win the trophy? Are we celebrating mediocrity?
No, Tony. Tony, I don't quite agree with that. You were just talking now about a young player that plays for Man United, Mamu, thinking of where to switch over to whether Ghana or England. Okay. These are the things we need to bring out the best back home. I tell you, with such thing that happened today, even Bukayo Saka, that is playing for the English national team at this point right now, will be regretting wishing he had played for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. I tell you, Tony, this is the right direction to go. This government got this one spot on. In fact, for me, this is the best thing this government has done, and I'm quite impressed with that. Let me tell you what this is going to do, Tony. Most times when we look at things, we look at the foundation, where we start from. This thing that this government have done now has taken our sport to a different level. It has shown every athlete competing that once you go into this thing, you give your 120%. Whatever happens to you, the country is going to stand behind you. The government is going to reward you. The people of the country are behind you, and that's all we need to get our Super Eagles and all our national teams, both football, athletics, in everything we do, to get us to give 150% anytime we are wearing the green, white, green jersey. And this is how it should be. we need to applaud this government for bringing this, for starting this, we're doing this at this moment. Tony, this is a very good one for us, for Nigeria, a good one. That means there is hope. This is what we call the Renew Hope. This is the Renew Hope agenda for sports, and we can all see that it has started with this Super Eagles. It's a very good one.
All right, let me ask you this question before my colleague throws his own question at you. For looking at Alex Iwobi, who got cyber bullied, how will you respond to that, attack on Alex Iwobi? And do you think there's a lesson for Alex Iwobi to also take from that attack?
Yes, thank you, Tony. You see, quite all right. I must condemn the bullying of Alex Iwobi. But again, let's not forget that Nigerians are very emotional and passionate about sports. And what this is going to tell every athlete that's competing for Nigeria, that once you're competing for the Super Eagles, at every point in time, you try to give your 110%, in fact 120%, not just in football, but in every tournament or in every sport you are going to represent Nigeria or you are representing your country. You always learn to concentrate at every time, keep your cool, less mistakes, make up for it, giving your best into it. So I think for me, of course I condemn that because it's a team game. You just single out only Alex Iwobi and then start bullying him over social media. But again, it should also reflect to you how much emotion, the kind of passion as a country we put into sport, and not just sport, but also showing that sport is one unifying factor for this country. Sport is one factor that united Nigeria. So let me tell you, on the night of that finals, if you watch that final, the whole country stood still. Everybody watched that game. And if you have lifted that trophy, because the match was at 11 p.m., I tell you today, Nigerians will be in celebrating mood. Obviously, I've never seen us coming together, even in the situation this country is going through right now, every economic hardship. I've not seen a people that love sports so much that they could drop everything we are going through, and everybody for the first time we're looking for something to make us happy. That means you see the craving that we want to be happy winning. So for me, Alex Iwobi, this is a lesson for him that you should know that, look, whenever I'm playing for a national team, these people demand so much from me, these people, they love me. Alex Iwobi is loved. Nigerians love Alex Iwobi. That is why you see that going. We all love him. Everybody loves him. We love the players. We were happy. They all did well for us. But again, as I said, football is passionate. It's emotional. Some people take it beyond that. And that is why in the game of football, that's why you see Nigeria is a country that have over 100 million coaches. We all have coaches. We are all coaches in Nigeria. Everybody is a coach. Everybody sees the mistake. Everybody, and that is it. And that is what it means. That's how passionate we are. So for Alex Iwobi, I think for me, you shouldn't take it to heart. This instead should spoil him and make him do better. This should encourage him and make him silence those people, those critics that look. I have all it takes. But whatever happens in football, it can happen. So for me, I think at this point, it also show you how much this country or how much people believe. Look, if football was a religion, in fact, in Nigeria, football is a religion. Sport in Nigeria, it's a religion. When I mean a religion, the way you worship, people worship it. That is the level it has gotten to. And that is why I'm also impressed that the government has keyed into it. You know, that football is a religion, football is a different thing entirely. And that is why I'm happy with the reward given to the players, encouragement to tell them, look, whenever you are playing for Nigeria, give it your best. If you get injured, in the past we see players getting injured, and after some time, the Nigerians abandon them. A lot of players, Mokati and Co, they get injured and nothing happens to them. They are abandoned. So this makes every player playing for Nigeria, look, if I get injured, what happens to me? My career, my family, what do I do? How do I feed myself? But with this, it has shown that Nigeria first. Give all to Nigeria. Nigeria will always be behind. Nigeria will reward you. Nigeria will always not let you alone.
All right, well said, Samuel.
Good morning, Coach.
Yes, good morning, Sam. Good morning, the Osime of Global TV.
Yes, sir. Coach, I have just one question for you, sir. As a coach, What do you think Jose Pizarro would have done differently, you know, for us to win the championship, sir?
Yes, thank you, my brother. One thing you should know is, in that final, I told people, Nigeria played against 13 men, not just 11 players, when you look at that. Yes, of course, for me, I felt the coach would have made a different call, in the sense he's starting 11. I believe if he had started Chukwueze on the bench and started Simon Moses and the players the way he started the game, I believe we will be able to hold up the pressure and then be able to put more counter and put more pressure on the Ivorians to make them sit back. But you could see in that match, because there was no bite, the Ivorians didn't sit back. They kept coming, they kept playing. And not forget that we have beaten this team before in the group stage, and of course coming back right now, they don't want to lose. So for me, I don't want to believe that it was meant to go that way. For me, Pizarro as a coach has done what he can do. I just want to believe that whatever happened is we played against 13 men, against the whole stadium, the whole country. We played against everybody. Nigeria played against them. So for me, I think the Super Eagles did quite well. I mean, I felt they did quite well, and Pizarro did all he got to do. I mean, this is a host country that were at the verge of going out from this tournament just with 3 points, and they escaped through. This same country played the former champions, the former champions. They played them, Senegal. They won Senegal. They went out, they played Mali. So you could see the teams they removed from the tournament. That shows that they actually wanted to win. They came back, they had the support, they had the belief, they had the push for themselves. So for me, I think the Super Eagles did well. I mean, the game wasn't totally washed out. We were able to hold our own. But again, that's football. So I think next time we'll do better than this.
Yes, sir. Before, one more question, sir. Do you think we should sack Jose Pizarro, or we should, like, you know, extend his contract? Do you think he should be sacked?
Yes, thank you, Ode. Ode, the truth is this. I'm truly an advocate for a local coach. That is what I've always been. That's what I've always preached in Nigeria, for a local coach to take over the team. Because I believe that if we have a local coach, and with the way this government, the encouragement from this present government has shown that whoever picks the job as a local coach will be well encouraged. In the past, the problem we have had before with our local coaches is that they don't get this such support. They don't get such belief from the government. As a home-based coach, most times, I mean, there's a lot of interference in your job, a lot of selection, a lot of things coming in, a lot of sentiment, a lot of this, they want you to do this, they want to do that. So you have to stand your ground, like the former Steve Keshi did, the late Steve Keshi did. You have to stand his ground and say, no, these are the teams I want to keep. So for me, I think at this point, I will actually advocate for a local coach. But with what Pizarro has done so far, we need to take up with his own style of play, its own 3-4-3 style of play. Football has going to take us far up to this point. I think for me, I think at this point, Pizarro maybe should be given a little more time. I mean, giving maybe a few more contracts. But right now, we should integrate more of the local-based coaches. People like the judge and coach should be able to step them up and say, look, you guys are the chief coach. This is the technical manager. Just when we had those days with West Ham. West Ham was the technical, was a TM, and we had Christian Chukwu as the chief coach. So giving them these duties, and let's see how together we can learn from them. I mean, synergy with this very coach. Over time, I expect us to work purely with our own local coaches.
I know you begin to think I'm an Oliver Twist now, because I want to ask you one more question. Who would you recommend to take over the Super Eagles as a coach?
Yes, as a coach, of course. Looking at the home base, or I call it the Nigerian-based coaches, or the Nigerians that are, we have people like Emmanuel Amunike, Finidi George just was with the team. We have a lot of them. Olise, Amunike, Finidi George. All these people are great coaches. I mean, that can take over this job and build from what we had in this last AFCON, and see how we can bring these players and then go forward. So I think we have a lot of coaches that can take over the job from Pizarro.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
All right, let's get into club football. Enough of our darling Super Eagles, because we can talk about the Super Eagles all day for the love we have for our darling Super Eagles. All right, Charles, let's take you to one of the biggest clubs in the world, Barcelona. Big story coming out from Spain this morning says Rafnik, the man who was in charge of Old Trafford and did not really succeed there, is likely to take over from Xavi. Is that a very good call by Barcelona?
Yes, thank you, Tony. First of all, you have to look at what are the philosophy and what are the mentality of the club called FC Barcelona. What do they believe in? What do they want? What do they want to achieve? How is the team built on? Now, Barcelona has been a team that we know that always believe in development, always believe in getting these boys from the feeder team, building the team, and they have a style of play, they have a tradition, they have a culture of football, and their culture of football starts from growing from a young player. And the truth is this: the current coach now, I mean, this coach now, I think is the coach of the Australian national team, and he has been able to take them to this year's European Cup. I mean, he's a believer of youth development. That is the kind of coach he is. I mean, we saw him at Manchester United taking over in 2001, and of course, a lot of people said he didn't do well in United. He didn't do this, but again, looking at him, I mean, coming from his own country, from Germany, he's a coach that believes in youth football. He believes in the development of youth, and that is what FC Barcelona right now are looking at. Checking the financial status of a club like FC Barcelona and what they have gone through in the past 3 to 4 seasons. I think they need a coach that can come back home and then build from the team, so that style of play, that culture of football, that tiki-taka football that we know Barcelona of, will continue in that tradition. Barca is a team that wants to keep the tradition they play, wants to play good football, wants to enjoy football, and they love playing that kind of football. And that's the kind of football they play, and that's football we've seen over years rule the world. We saw when tiki-taka was the in thing all over the world, before other people came with different patterns, packing the balls and different kind of football style. So I think for me, that will have been a good coach to come to FC Barcelona, knowing that at this point in time, what we need back to Barcelona is to bring back that traditional play of Barcelona, bring back that way the Barcelona play football, that style they play. And I think for me, it will be a good coach for FC Barcelona.
All right, let's for Xavi, what do you think this is going to do to Xavi's confidence in the coaching arena? And do you see him getting another job soon? And is he likely to return to the Catalan Giants?
Yes, but it's not over for Xavi. Xavi has done well. I mean, for me, Xavi is a young coach. Xavi's best experience in Europe is FC Barcelona. I mean, Xavi retired from football how many years ago? Just a couple of years ago from football. He went to Saudi Arabia as a coach player, and he got his experience from Saudi Arabia, and he's back into the FC Barcelona team. For me, I think every coach at Xavi level, if you look at Xavi's set during Xavi's time of play, everybody that has played football with Xavi at that level, I think Xavi has stand out to show that, look, I'm a coach to look at for the future. Xavi for me is in the same mode as a Pep Guardiola, which I see him becoming that in the future time. So for me, he came out to say he was not going to continue with the team after this season. Doesn't mean that he's out of the team. No, these are people that Barcelona runs in their blood. They go in Barcelona. They always want to play for FC Barcelona. So I think Xavi will always come back to Barcelona as much time he can. He wants to come back and also coach. So for me now, this is not the end, but he has shown that, look, I can handle one of the biggest clubs in the world. I can win title. Xavi has won the La Liga, which for me it's a very impressive thing as well. And going forward, he may also win the Champions League. The way we are going, I believe he might win the Champions League too this season for FC Barcelona. The way he is going, so for me, it's not a problem. I mean, Xavi is a good coach. At any point in time, he's always there for FC Barcelona, and of course, be rest assured that Xavi is a coach to watch out for in the future.
All right, let's remain in Spain. Let's take you to the Galacticos, talking about Real Madrid, where Jude Bellingham has been held aloft as an unbelievable player by one of Real Madrid's all-time greats, talking about Zinedine Zidane, who has referred to the £130 million summer signing from Borussia Dortmund, who has bagged 14 goals in 15 games for Real Madrid, eclipsing the record of Cristiano Ronaldo, who scored 13, and also Alfredo Di Stefano and Prudence Sanchez. He has also reached 20 goals from Real Madrid's 29 games, which is 126 appearances faster than David Beckham when he came to Real Madrid. For you, how unbelievable would you describe Jude Bellingham? And do you see him becoming the next Zizou?
Yeah, thank you, Tony. Tony, even for me and for you, Zizou was a player that's taking the world by surprise. I mean, Bellingham is a player that everybody is watching right now. We are looking at him. We are all wondering that, look, I mean, a lot of people are saying, so this type of player has been on the scene all this while at Borussia Dortmund, and we did not see, even though he scored goals this season, he scored about 14 goals for Dortmund last season before leaving Dortmund. But again, I want to believe that he's a player. I mean, he's a player that has come on the stage, and everybody is watching. We are all watching him. We are all looking at him. Everybody Real Madrid, I mean, what he's doing so well in Madrid, and we're all watching. And Madrid themselves, I'm sure even the Madrid themselves that went to sign this player, they signed him because at that point they needed to have, I mean, a player maybe at his age in that style in their team. But I'm sure he didn't expect he was going to turn out to be the leading goal scorer in that team. He's going to put in so much effort. But this shows you that this young guy has put in so much effort, and I think for me the sky is his limit. Birmingham for me has taken me by surprise by storm the way he has played. I mean, seeing him playing for Madrid, and I want to believe Ancelotti has been able to know how to use him very well. Because back then in Dortmund he was playing deep, but right now so that going to bring him and give him the role of a number 10. As a role of a number 10, you can see him scoring goals from everywhere. Against FC Barcelona, he scored the goal. In big matches that matter, this young boy always raises his bar and scores goals for Real Madrid. He has been one that has kept Real Madrid at the top of the table. I want to tell you, Surrounding, that this boy has taken Madrid to this level. Even when Vini Jr. was out injured, we saw him stepping up to be able to still keep Madrid going without knowing that Madrid is missing such caliber of player. So he has done so well, and it's a player we have to look at for in future. That is, we are still watching him.
So that we can. Hello, Charles. Charles, we have to go for a quick break, and when we come back from the break, our discussion continues. Can you hear me?
In the middle of Zidane. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, our discussion continues. We'll be looking at Argentina that is trying to bring Messi and the Angel Di Maria to their under 23 Olympic team. And I would like to get your take on that. That will be after this break. Stay with us. Right, welcome back. It's Still Talk Sports on Global Television, and we're giving all the big stories that are making the rounds and very, very deep analysis of all the issues in the exciting world of sport. I still have Odi by my side as we look at all the trending stories. Odi, let's look at Argentina trying to bring back Lionel Messi and Angel Di Maria into the Olympic national team. We saw those two players wreck Nigeria the last time we met in the Olympics when Mikel Obi was still in the team. How important will these two players be for Argentina in 2024 in Paris? And does that tell us that probably Argentina is lacking fresh young stars? Because this is kind of unusual.
It's like so unusual. Messi himself is like 36 years of age. Di Maria is like 35. So when all of this is coming up in my head, I was like, wait, are there no young talents in Argentina that can fit into this guy's role? Because is it a criteria to bring back someone that has played on this level before? So I don't think like it's actually nice, because there should be young talents that they should be able to bring in. So I don't know what the FIFA body is actually saying.
No, but in terms of under 23s, we know that there's this opening for every national team to have at least 2 overage players in the team. But I'm looking at the fact that still relying on Messi.
You know, they are relying on Messi, and I think this now is not.
Do you think he's going to have that effect for them if actually he goes to the Olympics?
If he goes, we all know who Messi is and what Messi can do on the pitch of play.
Yeah.
The same with Di Maria. Those are guys that, you know, like our Nigerians will say, they showed Mikel and his team Shege during their own time. So, you know, Messi and Di Maria, if they do consider to go, they'll definitely have an effect. They'll have an effect on the team.
All right, Charles, nice to know you're back with us. Oh, Haji, nice to know you're back with us. All right, Haji, in case you can hear me, we want to get your take as regards Argentina planning to bring back Messi. All right, let's move on to other talking points. Looking at Mbappe moving to Real Madrid, and but the story breaking is saying he's likely to go to Arsenal, and Thierry Henry is one of the person who is pushing this. Mbappe moving to Arsenal, is that realistic or is just wishful thinking? Would he swap Real Madrid to Arsenal because of Thierry Henry, and Arsenal not willing to even pay the big money? So how realistic is that move?
You know, I know if Kylian Mbappe will want to go to Arsenal, he will just want to go to Arsenal because of the legend Thierry Henry, because Thierry Henry is one of his mentors when it comes to football.
But that guy has shown that he likes money.
Yes, yeah, sure. And Arsenal are usually
they're stingy.
They are really not open to like spending so much on
breaking the banks for any player.
Or for any player at all, not at all. They can use like 200 million pounds to like get like 5 to 7 players. 5 to 7 players. They don't mind. But Kylian Mbappe has made it clear that he has always wants to go to Real Madrid. Yeah, he's always open. I think he loves Spain and he wants to play for Madrid. So I don't see this being realistic. Yes, I don't see the possibility. Okay. Liverpool are also coming into the picture, so I don't think he wants to play for any England team right now.
All right, Charles Haji, nice to have you rejoin us.
Yes, thank you, Tony.
All right, let's just get a quick one. 5 minutes is all we've got right now. We've got some big story from South America saying Argentina is trying to bring back Messi and Angel Di Maria into the under-23 Olympic team for Paris 2024. What does this tell us about Argentina's determination to win that tournament? And second, does it tell us that probably Argentina is running out of star players?
Thank you, Tony. Tony, you're talking about the Olympics. And the Olympics, there's a rule in the Olympics that as a country you can come with 3 overage players. Overage players. And don't forget that the coach of the Olympic team, Mascherano, Javi Mascherano, if there's any player you ask him of right now, who's the best player he wants to play with or be in his team, will be Lionel Messi. And because
we're talking Argentina now.
They are understanding, they play together, and Messi is not just coming Yes, I'm talking about Mascherano. Sorry, Mascherano is the coach of the Olympic team in Argentina. And Mascherano and Messi are former teammates, both from the club side to the national team. And Mascherano, at this point, if there's any player you ask Mascherano that he wants to bring into his team, will be Lionel Messi, because Messi is not only bringing in his skills, he's bringing in also his leadership quality, his experience into the team. And of course, for Paris, it's going to be a big game to have a World Cup winning captain like Messi to grace that Olympic occasion. Not forget, you don't know about the playing, but about the commercial and every other thing Messi and Angel Di Maria are going to bring into that Olympics. Encouraging the young teams they are going to play with, encouraging the young players, bringing out the best in all the national teams that are going to play in the Olympic. Just because a Messi is in the Olympic, every player is going to pick up. Everybody wants to give his best, because the whole world, the cameras, all the cameras, your camera, my camera, everybody will be on Paris 2024. Because why? Because Lionel Messi is playing an Olympic. He's playing for an Olympic team. So for me, I think for me, it's not about Argentina losing stars, but it's about getting the best to play for you. Messi, even if he doesn't play all the matches, his support, the value, the morale, the encouragement, the experience is going to bring him into that team. Is going to spur the young talents there to want to be like Messi. They want to win. See, Tony, the thing is this: most times when you bring in a player that has a winning mentality into your team, it transforms all over the whole team. They know that, look, because Messi is a player that has a winning mentality. It's a World Cup medalist. He's the best player in the whole world right now. I mean, when you bring in that kind of player into your team, what you expect to get in your team is that mentality of winning. The player that wants to be on the top. And that is where we got, let me digress, that's what we got in the AFCON. AFCON is bringing a player like Osimhen, a player that has won the Italian Serie A and won the FIFA Player of the Year. You could see how he was able to bring that into the national team, that spirit of get winning. And that's the mentality Mascherano wants in his team. Of course, Di Maria, it's a very good player. It's a player that we all know that at that level he's going to carry, encourage, guide the young players in the team to achieve victory. For Lionel Messi, you cannot explain, you cannot quantify his role, not just for Argentina, but for the Olympic and for the Olympic itself. I'm sure the Olympic committee will be so happy to see a player like Messi playing in that year Olympic, which may be his last Olympic he's going to play for. So for me, I think it's spot on for Mascherano if he gets these two players to agree to play for the Olympic team. It's a good one for this year Olympic. It will make everybody's eye will be on the Olympic.
All right, you have just 1 minute to answer this question as we wrap it up. We've got Mbappe. Story coming out of England says Thierry Henry has tried to convince Mbappe to move to Arsenal. How realistic is this, especially when we know that Arsenal are very stingy with the money? And would he leave Real Madrid for Arsenal? How realistic is this story about Mbappe likely wouldn't mind moving to Arsenal?
Yes, thank you, Tony. Of course, Tony, in the world of football, it's always dreams. Everybody dream, players dream, club dream, everybody dream. Mbappe, I tell you, a club like Chelsea is dreaming for Mbappe. Mind you, every player, every club, even Everton, they all have the dream. Yeah, you can get Mbappe. Everybody wants to get him. It's allowed in football. That's what you want. But again, what I want to see is that, of course, as a player, you must have your role models. You must have people that came before you that you look up to as a footballer. So for me, Mbappe has this special attraction for Thierry Henry. And of course, it won't be bad for him to play in the same team his role model has played for. But we all know that financially, Arsenal cannot afford a clear Mbappe at this point in time. Maybe in the future, when he gets to 30-something years old, he will fulfill that dream of playing for wearing the Arsenal jersey that he already dreamt for. He might go there, because it's where he wants to go. Because we can see even Real Madrid and Mbappe, because Mbappe right now is all about the money. And he playing, in fact, is one of the highest footballer right now in the world. Even Madrid right now, the contract they are bringing for Mbappe is lower than what they were offering him last season or last 2 seasons ago to sign for them. Madrid too are not they're trying to see if they can get a better deal for Mbappe. So going to Arsenal is out of the question for Mbappe. Mbappe, even at this point, he wouldn't go to Arsenal.
All right, I want to say a big thank you, Charles Ohaji, football coach, trained in Canada. Thank you. Always a pleasure having you join us on Talk Sport. And we hope you'll be back to the FCT today, because it looks like you're having lots of fun in Kaduna. You don't want to come back to from the Crocodile City. And make sure when you're coming back, you get a lot of fura de nuno, so that we can, have some taste of Zaria. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Don't worry, a lot of them. Thank you, Tony. Thank you so much.
All right, that's how we're going to call it a wrap on today's edition of the program, Talk Sports. Sam, for you, which of the stories was your favorite?
They are all, amazing stories. I was so excited about the whole awards and gifts that was gotten from the Super Eagles. So I think that's like one of my favorite. Yes.
All right, so that's how we call it a wrap on today's edition of the program Talk Sports. Join us again tomorrow for another exciting edition as we give you all the best stories in the world of sports. Good morning.